Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for today's webinar on cyber careers promotions. There's still a couple of people just joining us, so we're going to give it 1 or 2 more minutes before we kick off. Okay, I think we'll get things going. Welcome everyone to today's webinar on cyber careers promotion, which is organised by Cyber Skills and Cyber Ireland. My name is Owen Byrne, I'm the Cluster Manager for Cyber Ireland, and this makes up a whole series of events that we've organised for Cybersecurity Month with our partners. We kicked it off last week with the ITAG and the West Chapter's Cybersecurity Summit. This week, we have 2 cyber careers events with Aoife and Cyber Skills Project. Thursday, then, we have our first national conference. And the aim of this is to bring together the whole of the cybersecurity community in Ireland across industry, academia and government. And it's really about showcasing the best of what's happening across the country in our cybersecurity cluster, as well as discussing some of the key challenges for industry and for government in our country as well around cybersecurity. So we've a really good lineup of speakers from both local and international organisations. And I encourage you all to join us on the day. Registration is free for Cyber Ireland members. Next week then, on Tuesday, we have an event with the Defence Forces on cyber defence. On Thursday, we have an MNC SME virtual networking event hosted by Enterprise Ireland. And the following week, in early November, we have a 2-day workshop on cybersecurity procurement opportunities with the government and Intertrade Ireland. So we're delighted to support this webinar on how industry can get involved in promoting cybersecurity careers to secondary school students in Ireland. And just to go back, I suppose Cyber Ireland was set up initially to address the cybersecurity skills shortages in industry. That was the key challenge going back from a number of meetings in 2017. And then Cyber Ireland was set up in 2019. And I think we've all heard these reports of 3 to 5 million unfilled cybersecurity roles worldwide. But what does that actually mean for Ireland? And I suppose we've all seen maybe in our organizations the challenges around recruiting for some specific roles or specific types of technical security skills gaps. But we conducted a survey of our members last year that we published in February of 2021. And some of the findings from that were actually startling. We found that the majority of companies are planning on expanding their cybersecurity teams this year. On the other side of that, almost half of organizations had open or unfilled cybersecurity roles. Almost half of companies said their cyber teams were understaffed. And then 43% of new cybersecurity hires were actually coming from outside of Ireland. So a lot of organizations are relying on attracting talent in from abroad. And there's some serious challenges there. So we made a number of recommendations for the short, medium, and long term to address those. But if we're serious about addressing these shortages, it's going to take 5, 10 plus years really. And we need to be thinking long term as well. And I think that's why it's so important we look at initiatives to attract children and students into these cybersecurity roles. And as well as that, the critical part of making cybersecurity careers more open and inclusive for people from all different backgrounds, and changing that kind of mindset that cybersecurity and STEM careers are just for boys, that, you know, we have to make them open and inclusive for girls and young women as well. So I know there's some fantastic work being done across the country, and we're going to hear about some of these interesting career initiatives today, as well as, I suppose, what individual companies are doing. You know, a lot of you are in the audience going out and doing cyber security awareness talks or career talks to local schools. And I think, I suppose, what we need to do is really to promote what's going on across the country, shout a bit louder about what's happening, and see how we can join up all of these initiatives together, because I suppose it's really that when we start collaborating and promoting this at a national level, that's when we're going to be able to make some real changes and progress. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce today's moderator for the session. Jan Carroll is a lecturer in the UCD Professional Academy and is passionate about all things cybersecurity and careers and education. So Jan, I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks, Owen. You're a busy man this week, so we won't keep you. Best of luck with the conference. I'm really looking forward to it.
Thanks.
So today's discussion is asking the question of how can the industry promote cyber careers to second level students in Ireland. Cyber is such a diverse, sought after, secure and well-paid field. So how do we get this message out to school leavers? Well, hopefully today we'll get closer to the answer. We're very fortunate with our panel, each one working on initiatives to engage young people or those considering a move to cybersecurity. If you have any questions during today, add to the Q&A tab and we'll take time at the end. Please feel free to share any relevant information to the chat, LinkedIn profiles, links. Tell us what you're doing to promote cyber careers too, okay? So let me introduce the panel. We have Aoife Long, the Education and Engagement Manager at Cyber Skills Project. We have Mark Lane and Mark Cummins from Zero Days CTF, Capture the Flag. Mark and Mark are also lecturers in cybersecurity in TU Dublin. So we're very, very lucky to have them. We have Michelle Lambert and Jessica McKeown from FIT, which is Fast Track to Information Technology, and they're behind the tech apprenticeships and more. So I can't wait to hear what they're going to tell us about. And finally, we have Marguerite O'Sullivan, co-founder and the current chairman of the board of STEM Southwest, where you're all very welcome and look forward to hearing about your initiatives and your work and what your plans you have to engage young people in cybersecurity. So without further ado, Aoife, if you would like to tell us about your plans.
Thank you, Jan. My name is Aoife Long and I'm the Education and Public Engagement Manager of the Cyber Skills Project that is based at MTU. I'm just going to share my screen there. So the Cyber Skills Project, for those of you that aren't aware of it, it's a higher education initiative aimed at upskilling people who are already experienced in IT to further their career in cybersecurity. So it's led by MTU and the project partners are University of Limerick, Technological University of Dublin and University College Dublin. So they've really built a consortium to address the cyber skills shortage, but also they added my role as Education and Public Engagement Manager, and a big part of my role will be to build the talent pipeline and focusing on school leavers. So I'm going to go through some of the initiatives that I've already started and that I'm building on, and particularly outline where you can get involved as industry partners. So my email address is there, aifelong@mtu.ie, and I would encourage you to get in touch if you feel you can add value in any way. So I started my role back in April, shortly after the Cyber Skills Project launched. And one of the first big tasks that I was involved in was the Cybersecurity Academy. So this was a fantastic project to be involved in and a real privilege to run. So this was a focused cybersecurity academy aimed at older secondary school students. So transition years, fifth years and sixth years were also invited to participate, because this year some people had the option of not running the Leaving Cert and getting their predicted grade. So they were also invited to participate as it was held in June. So the people were reached organically. So we had 58 or 85 students on day one, and 57 students were awarded a digital badge at the end of the week for completing. So it was a fairly low drop-off rate and we're pretty happy with that. The advantage of running it online was that we had students from around the country. We had students from 16 counties in Ireland. And I think that's something that possibly wouldn't have been achieved if we'd been running on-site courses, particularly in the major cities. So, you know, we had people from Donegal and really far away places, or the Midlands, which doesn't quite have that concentration of activities. The format of each day, we started with a career talk in the morning with different people from industry, and that was cited as a highlight for a lot of the students because it really helped put the technical skills that they were learning into context and realize that there was a value for them beyond the immediacy of what they were learning. So we started each day with the industry career talk, and then the first part of the day was instruction, and that was led by two of the cyber skills lecturers, George O'Mahony and Hazel Murray, who were also fantastic. And we had our lab assistants on hand also. And again, one of the nice things that wasn't planned, but that emerged, was that as the lectures were ongoing, students were asking questions in the Q&A, and the lab assistants were able to join in and pick up on those questions, so it meant less people were getting left behind compared to just being in a regular classroom setting where you don't quite have the same opportunity to ask questions throughout. We also had daily competitions and prizes, again, just to kind of gamify it a little bit and keep the interest going, and prizes for the final day, which was a competition run by 0 Days Capture the Flag, who are up next with fantastic prizes sponsored by CMS Distribution. So again, that really kind of created a good buzz about the week. So we did run a before and after evaluation survey, and I suppose the careers talks emerged as a highlight, but also I suppose coming into it, people are self-selecting to do a cybersecurity academy. So a lot were fairly positive about a career in cybersecurity to begin with, but that number still increased by the end of the week, that a lot of people were even more enthusiastic about a career in cybersecurity. And the perception that it was difficult, that didn't change from the start of the week to the end of the week, but the perception that it was potentially difficult to be involved in cybersecurity wasn't something that would have put the students off. So I think it's a good sign that, you know, people of that age do appreciate a challenge as well, and that finding something difficult doesn't put them off. We couldn't have done this academy without our sponsors. So we were awarded funding from the Science Foundation Ireland Discover programme, which funds education and public engagement activities in Ireland that are mainly science-led. And we also had industry sponsorship from Huawei, Qualcomm and Zurich, and we really appreciate that. So it was a fantastic academy to run, and we've applied for more funding from the SFI Discover programme, so we can hopefully run the same academy again with a little bit of lessons learned in 2022 and 2023. So on to the next thing will be the cyber careers talks. So we have an event tomorrow focusing on an early careers cybersecurity professionals. So this is entitled Getting Started in Cybersecurity. And Tom New, who is the cyber skills partner for University of Limerick, he's going to be hosting the event. And then we've 3 early career professionals from VMware, Huawei and Accenture talking about their career journey so far. And as I arrange these events, I'll be hoping to focus in on different themes. For example, back in May, there was a Cyber Ireland event focusing on building a successful career in cybersecurity, which had, I suppose, people who were quite prominent in their careers at the time. And as I kind of drill down and understand the roles more, then I can focus on different technical aspects of cybersecurity and demystify it from one big concept to the actual roles within the industry. And that's something I also hope to do with a website that I am building, cyberfutures.ie, that I am hoping to launch in November. So I've filmed a bunch of career stories, and again, thank you to the companies that have engaged with me on this. I'm also going to describe the cyber roles in Ireland. One of the reasons that I want to have this website focusing on CyberFutures in Ireland, there are these websites built internationally and that focus on different markets, but I really want students to understand how they can build a career in Ireland, or their parents as well, because I do think parents have a big influence on career choices in Ireland still. And then the final thing is cyber resources. A lot of companies are developing different resources and hosting them on our website or having us click through to your resources. Again, I think it just can build that collaboration so people can understand the cyber ecosystem a bit better. So this is an example of the roles that I've taken from the NIST NICE framework. I'm not going to list it on the website like this, but again, it's just an example of where I need to work with industry. For example, if is a cyber defense analyst, taking that as an example, is that what the role is called in Ireland, or does it have a slightly different title? And a big contribution I'll need from industry is, for example, quotes. So if there's a particular role, having a quote from industry saying, we hire people to carry out this role and it's important because X, then I think that will be a really big advantage for students considering cybersecurity, that they know how valuable it is in Ireland. So yeah, so this is my final ask. I'll need a regular supply of role models so I can organize events along different themes. And a big thing for me will be to have a range of people from different roles, different stages in their career that I will be able to reach out to over time and get involved in the different events that I'm organizing. An understanding of cyber roles in Ireland, that's something I can do within cyber or cyber skills, but also in particular quotes about the relevance of the particular jobs to your company. And then finally, resources and modules. If you have them, I'd love to host them on the website or click through. And I'd love to hear from you at aoifelong@mtu.ie. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aoife. I was getting mixed up with my clicking there. That's fascinating. My son actually took part in the Cyber Academy, and it was brilliant, especially during the whole working, school, from home, COVID, isolation, all of that. It was just really, really good. And from a parent's perspective, it was ran really, really well. And he now has an interest, because I know when I talk about cybersecurity, he doesn't want to know, but it was great for him to get involved in something like that. So thanks so much for that. And please do sign me up for the mentoring. I'd love to take part. So next we have Mark Lane and Mark Cummins from 0 Days CTF, and they're going to tell us about their initiatives. Thank you.
Hi folks, so I'm Mark Lane.
I'm Mark Cummins.
So we are, can you see our screen there? Are we sharing? Should be sharing now, yeah? Yeah, okay, yeah, so, go to the next slide. So yeah, we're lecturers in cybersecurity in TU Dublin. We've been involved in cybersecurity for a long time. We're teaching for a good many years as well. So initially we started competing in hacking competitions around about 12 or 13 years ago, I think. But our initial experience of those events was that they were very elitist. They weren't very fun. There were small numbers taking part in them, only a few teams taking part in them. They weren't very encouraging or inclusive. So we decided to try and run our own. We thought we could do it better. So we ran our first event in 2015, which we called 0 Days, Capture the Flag event. So it's a cybersecurity competition. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So our initial aim was to make the event taken in a different direction and just be more friendly, be more encouraging, be more approachable for people, and be more helpful. Just to have everything a bit more open and inclusive. So our very first event was run in 2015. It was in Generator in Smithfield in Dublin. And the first event we ran actually turned out to be the biggest event of its type in the country. So we had over 20 teams take part in that one, and nearly all college students. So it was primarily aimed at college students and student teams. So our very first event was already very successful in encouraging cybersecurity and computing students to take part in that.
So as Mark mentioned, when we started off kind of taking part in these kind of competitions, these capture the flag events, we didn't find it very encouraging. There was only 5 or 6 teams probably competing in Ireland. They all knew each other. It was a very closed shop. And while the challenges were all technically very good, it was extremely difficult to break into the area. It was extremely elitist. And as Mark mentioned, we felt we could do it better. More fun was basically the way we put it. So we created our first 0 Days event in 2015. And with the 0 days event, basically, we deliberately wanted to kind of lower the entry level. So we encouraged students that didn't have 10 years industry experience, that came from any background, whether it be computing or science or business, because we felt that regardless of the background, people could still contribute to a team in cybersecurity. So the whole idea of our early events were basically to encourage teamwork, diversity, and we felt the teams worked much better, that it was different perspectives, different view on the same challenge or problem, basically encourage teams. So a lot of thinking outside the box challenges, a lot of hands-on fun challenges, and with a scattering of pictures throughout the slides from different events during the year. So hopefully you can see the different fun in the teams that's kind of coming across, as well as the kind of initial capture the flag events. So the whole idea behind the capture the flag events are essentially small gamified challenges. They tend to have a cybersecurity team, but other than the harder challenges, most of them can be approached at any level. So like we've done these captured flags events with people with no security backgrounds, no IT background, and still encourage them how to perform better Google searches to find information that's hidden on a website, or to find archived versions of a website to see what was the deal on the Board Gosh website when you signed up. Are you actually getting what you signed up for? You can roll back the website, check it out on a particular date. And some of our earlier competitions, we had events like we had a fake pizza website, and the students had to hack the pizza website to order their lunch. And when they hacked the website, we had pizzas being delivered all day for their lunch. So it was just novel approaches to that. We do like lock picking challenges. So we have lock picks there. We have people teaching them. It's just fun. We have safes and safety deposit boxes there, and the students have to open them and try and solve the challenges. So it's all about creativity. It's all about teamwork. Yes, the harder competitions involve having some cyber experience, but there's definitely entry-level stuff. So as well as our main event, we do a big capture the flag event, which now has over 300 people take part. That's around Easter each year in April. As well as that main event, we also do a load of other challenges. So we also run the Cyber Challenge Ireland competition, which is basically a national competition to pick the Irish team each year. So each year we travel as part of the European Cybersecurity Challenge, and we try and pick an Irish team, and we mentor them, and we get industry experts in to try and coach them or train them in different skill sets that they might be lacking. And the team then compete as Team Ireland on the European stage. So that's just recently finished there in Prague recently. So it's evolving each year. We're always looking for sponsors to help with the national team and to help train the students effectively onto the team. As well as the CTFs, we've also in the last year or two with COVID done a lot of online training. So a lot of CTFs online, which allow companies to either do in-house training or as part of college open days or the cyber skills summer camp and conferences. We've done a lot of conferences. We've even done summer parties for Coder dojos and some schools where we've organized kind of treasure hunts around campus that have a cybersecurity team. And so it's pretty diverse, but the whole idea behind it is basically gamified challenges. It's fun, it's teamwork, and to show that anyone can do cyber. It's about a way of thinking, not necessarily a skill set. You can learn the skill set, but it's about a mindset. So if you have a mindset that's inquisitive, you like solving puzzles or challenges, communication and teamwork, well, then we're trying to show that cyber potentially is for you. And from our first event where we had maybe 80 people competing, like I said, we've now got over 300. So it's now the largest event in the world of its type. And we're growing it every year, and we're always looking for sponsors to get involved. A lot of the top student teams are recruited on the spot by industry teams. So the industry teams that are there are sponsors. They'd often have stands, and the top teams are nearly offered spots on the day.
Yeah, so one of the things we've done to encourage and make the events more fun is we actually have a theme to each challenge, which just makes it more engaging and just makes it really, really good crack for the teams on the day. So from the first event in 2015, the first 0 days CTF, we had a zombie apocalypse theme. So the challenges we create will have some relevance to the zombie apocalypse in some form or other, maybe very loose, but sometimes very tightly tied into that theme. We'd also encourage the actual participants to come in fancy dress. So it's really interesting to see, you know, 80 people running around dressed as zombies and monsters, especially the second year, which was probably our most popular theme. We had the Father Ted theme. So we had, I think, maybe around 200 people take part in that one. So we had 200 priests and nuns and bishops running around Smithfield doing a treasure hunt, which was very visual and was just really engaging for everybody. So some of the other themes that we've had then in recent years are superheroes and supervillains, Game of Thrones, and horror theme as well. So it just really it builds on the fun side of the event. People coming in fancy dress, and we have prizes for the fancy dress as well. So we really encourage them. We have really good prizes at these events as well, which really, you know, is a nice hook for people as well. And as Mark was saying, our sponsors really engage in this event as well, and they will hire participants directly on the day. A lot of people will get job, and that's a big attraction for these events as well, where students can come along and speak directly to our sponsors and see about the careers that are available to them. You know, directly with those companies that are hiring. So where do we go next then? What have we got planned? So our next events are the next 0 days, which is on the April the 9th next year. And the last 0 days, unfortunately, didn't run because of COVID. But what we're doing this next year is we're tying in a new event, Cyber Skills Challenge, which is a national event, which is going to be open to school kids. So primarily secondary school, but we probably also take primary school children if they're interested. So this is going to be run in parallel with the 0 Day CTF, which will be in the Mansion House in Dublin. So a very premium or premier venue, which will be great. But what we hope to do is build on the success we've had in engaging college students. We hope to replicate that now, or start to replicate that with secondary school students. So the two events will run side by side in the same venue. So the secondary school kids will actually see older teenagers and young adults taking part in that, and they'll see directly kind of careers and the fun events that can happen for them. So yeah, if we can, you know, replicate even in a small way the success we've had in engaging third level students with those with second level students, we will be very happy. So I think
no, at the moment, like I said, we're always looking for sponsors for any of the events that we run, whether it's the main 0 Days events, which will probably have 400 plus between the students, and the national skills event this year, industry teams. We offer these events to industries when they're doing on-site training or security awareness, just in a more engaging way than your traditional slides throw, click-through questions. And we started off initially, when we started 0 Days, we're involved with TU Dublin as well on the Blanchardstown campus. And we used to do the initial summer camps. So the initial summer camps, it's good that we see secondary school students coming in doing these summer camps. And a lot of these students who initially engaged in the summer camps, we've now seen as our students years later. So the students who had tried these summer camps, like the Skills one, our own one, have now basically continued on that career. And the idea is not to scare them away, it's to show that it's engaging, to show that it's a mindset thing rather than a skill set. We can teach skill sets, but if you have the right mind and they're inquisitive and they're interested in this, they can come from any background. They don't need to have advanced maths and advanced technical skills. So yeah, hopefully if anybody's interested, we'll pop our details up in the chat. So if you want to send us an email or check out the website. We're revamping the website at the moment, the launch of the new cyber skills event. So check it out, it'll be updated pretty soon. Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Mark, and thanks, Mark. I love that, what you said about it's a mindset rather than a skill set, because that just takes away that mystery, and often it is being good at figuring things out and being good at puzzles. But cybersecurity is such a diverse field. There's so many different roles that you can take that depend on different skill sets. So that's fantastic. And then when on your events are fantastic. I've attended them. I've volunteered for some of your events as well, so I know what you guys do, and it's really is brilliant. And the fact that you do the full package, whether it's a live event or an online event, it's just really excellent. So, and then when what you're doing with the secondary school students as well, and I think running it alongside the third level event is really good, because then the younger people can see the role models, because they don't, that's what they want to see. They want to see young people succeeding in it and excelling. So thanks for that. So now we have Michelle Lambert and Jessica McKeown from FIT, Fast Track to Information Technology. I've history with FIT from my time in further education, and fantastic initiatives to get people connected with technology and skills. And now there's the whole tech apprenticeships, which I'm fascinated about. So please tell us what you have in store.
Thank you. Thanks, Jan, and thanks to everyone for having us here today. I'm just going to share my screen, and then I will get started. Okay, can you see that okay? Is everything sharing okay? Okay, so
yeah, all good.
Brilliant. So I'm Michelle Lambert. I'm the School Liaison Officer for the FIT Choose Tech programme, of which Jessica and I will be giving you an overview of, and we're going to look at what we can do to create more awareness of the pathways to a tech career for young people, and in this case, the cyber sector. Just a bit of an overview on FIT and who we are. So FIT, or Fast Track to Information Technology, has been delivering a wider access to tech skills training for over 20 years. And throughout this time, we're delighted to partner with a lot of companies here today. Over this period, we have 21,000 people who have upskilled and completed our courses, with 18,500 securing employment. We're the national coordinator of 3 innovative ICT tech apprenticeships. We've network engineering, software development, and the reason we're here, cybersecurity. So through these courses and our tech apprenticeship programs, we're continuing to grow and develop the tech talent pipeline in Ireland. So Choose Tech. Choose Tech is a FIT school program which acts as a resource model for increasing diversity in the Irish workplace by widening access and inclusion towards a tech career for young people. Our tech apprenticeship programs are open to everyone who fulfill the entry requirements, and the uptake of these tech apprenticeships is really high. But what we've seen is a greater portion of applicants are coming from more advantaged situations, and employers are choosing them as preferred options, which makes it harder for young people from more disadvantaged backgrounds to succeed. So how can we ensure these opportunities are being reached by everyone? In 2019, FIT piloted a pre-tech apprenticeship program supported by Salesforce, and this was to address inclusion and widen access to tech apprenticeships for young people from DEIS schools or young adults who may not fulfill the requirements for a tech apprenticeship, but they wanted to learn more about the opportunities available to them within the tech sector and then prepare themselves to move forward to a tech apprenticeship. So from this pre-tech pilot, we learned that engaging young people from more socioeconomically disadvantaged backgrounds once they've dropped out or finished school is a challenge, because a lot of them don't consider tech as a viable career option. And this may be due to a lack of proper tech education and skills, belief that they're not good enough themselves, or just not having the right support networks to encourage them to try it. So for a tech apprenticeship to be a successful route into the tech sector, the pathway must be extended across the last 3 years of high school. And this is to guide and support young people into tech careers. And this is where the Choose Tech program comes in. With this program, we want to extend the pipeline for underserved youths into tech careers through apprenticeships or traditional routes. We believe that if given the right tools and support at the right time, early school leavers and young people from DEIS schools can access tech apprenticeship opportunities and develop their skills and experiences, which will be highly valued by future employers. So the program, what is the program? Choose Tech. Choose Tech launched in September 2020 as a 2-year pilot program for Dublin DEIS schools and youth reach centres. And we were recently awarded a Rethink Uplift Fund to roll out nationally with a focus on female participation. So it's for young people aged 15 to 20 years, and within schools, it's for 4th, 5th and 6th year and LCA students. Now in its 2nd year, we have over 1,500 young people actively participating with the program. We want to continue getting these young people involved and enjoying technology by showing them the roles and the paths to potential jobs in the tech sector and the pathways to a tech career. We offer an online learning program and support resources such as the near-peer engagement and career pathway information sessions, which Jessica will explain more about shortly. Choose Tech has been designed to inform, inspire, educate, guide, and support young people and the educators about the different opportunities available to them within the tech sector and how they can achieve them. More importantly, we want them to have fun and keep enjoying learning about tech and grow their confidence towards a tech career. So the main part of the program is the online learning platform. It offers 70 modules covering all areas of working within the tech sector. And these modules fall under 5 different learning categories. There's citizen, worker, maker, entrepreneur, and gamer. And they cover topics as diverse as cybersecurity, cloud computing, e-safety, animation, customer relationship management, and web development. The content of each module is to give the students an insight as to what is involved with certain roles, improve their digital literacy skills and knowledge, whilst gaining confidence with technology to find out what subjects they're interested in. I always say a student can go in thinking they love coding and gaming, and then they can try something like cybersecurity and realize this is definitely the avenue they want to go down. So on completion of the modules, students receive digital badges and awards, and these can be used on a CV, and they also help them decide a career path suitable to them. These badges show a demonstrated interest in tech and a commitment to learning about tech, which will help in interviews for tech apprenticeships and other tech career opportunities. Students can progress through the program independently or as part of a class module, but the most important thing is it works for them. It can be used on any device and students can work at a pace that's best suited to them. So the cybersecurity side of it. Through Choose Tech, students will learn about the cyber sector with modules covering cybersecurity roles. They will role-play security breach scenarios, get a better understanding of what the software and language used within this area by completing badges such as Cyber Spies, e-safety, cybersecurity, safety online, and data play. And on completion of these badges, students will have a better understanding of cybersecurity, which will help them determine if this is an area of interest for them. If this is a chosen route, Choose Tech is the first step in guiding these young people towards a career within this sector. And we want to ensure they are supported and make the right career pathway choice to achieving this, whether it is through a tech apprenticeship or a traditional route. The support we offer these young people now is key to them in making the right decision towards their future in tech. And extending our resource offering with your help will further increase their knowledge of the cyber sectors and the opportunities available to them. I'll hand you over to Jessica and she's going to run through our career pathway resources. Thanks.
Hi, thanks, Michelle. Hi, so my name is Jessica McKeown and I'm the Outreach Advocate in FIT. Firstly, I'd like to thank all the tech industries that we have a fantastic relationship with, who have been a great support to our tech apprenticeship programme. Our career pathway resources include videos, near-peer engagements, and career information sessions, which all play a vital role in supporting our Choose Tech programs. These resources help educate young people about technology, career pathways, tech apprenticeships, and tech careers. We need your support we need your help in supporting these resources and providing young people with hands-on experience and knowledge from tech sectors and tech roles and the pathways into a tech career. The pathway videos aim to increase awareness amongst students of the pathways to tech apprenticeships and tech careers. The near-peer engagement videos are from young tech professionals who tell their story of their journey and experiences in the tech industry. The aim is to relate to the students and dispel any stereotypes about working in the tech sector and to provide information about the career opportunities to them. We are asking tech professionals to provide near-peer engagements with students to create awareness of the real opportunities within the tech sector and to encourage students to consider tech as a career of choice. We are asking tech professionals to provide sessions with the students and to engage in open discussions about the opportunities and pathways into tech careers. The interactions with tech professionals are extremely beneficial to the students and complement the online modules. We welcome tech professionals to attend in-school and virtual meetings to provide information, share positive tech experiences, and provide insights of real-life examples of working in cybersecurity and other tech roles. We also welcome pre-recorded videos. Some questions that you might consider before talking to young people about tech could be, what's the most interesting aspects of cybersecurity? What are the skills needed to perform your role? What opportunities are available to grow and learn? And what is a typical day in the role of a cybersecurity specialist? We want to encourage inclusion and remove the typical tech stereotype and spread the message that there is an opportunity for everyone in tech. Our near-peer engagements play a vital role in our aim to get young people into tech careers, and we welcome your support. We would be delighted to hear from you, and if you'd like any other information, please do not hesitate to contact us. And on behalf of myself and Michelle, we'd like to thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Michelle and Jessica. So Jessica, you were saying you want organizations to get in touch, is that right?
Yes.
In order to provide like internships, is it that type of thing?
To provide near-peer engagements. Yeah, so young tech professionals to come to the schools or to provide videos, just to make it more real for the students. Brilliant.
And that could be a small company. It doesn't have to be big multinational.
No, that's anyone that to do with technology, cybersecurity, just to gain their interest.
Yeah. Thanks so much. I'm a big fan of the tech apprenticeships. I did an apprenticeship when I left school, because it's that idea that college isn't the correct path or the only path for everyone. So it's brilliant that there are other options and paths that will still get you into the likes of a cybersecurity or a tech career. So thanks so much for that. And finally, we have Marguerite O'Sullivan, co-founder and the current chairman of the board of STEM Southwest. So let us know what you have in store. Marguerite, please.
Hello, hi, nice to meet you all today, and thank you, Aoife, for the invitation. I'm here speaking on behalf of STEM Southwest, and I'm the current chair of a very passionate board that has been established. So what I'd like to do today is to share the journey of STEM Southwest, where we came from, where we are, and hopefully where we're going. And it's very interesting, Jan, to hear about the different pathways, because this is one of the things we want to target as well, is bringing that information to the many students and career guidance and teachers, that there are many pathways in STEM and in STEM careers as we move forward. So I just want to, I suppose, one of the things that's important to us in STEM Southwest is to make sure that we get the information from industry, from different educators to the students and parents and career guidance, and that it is up to date. So we're hearing a lot today of, you know, the changes in careers, and especially around even cybersecurity and what that career looks like. And one of the things we're passionate about is making sure that we can translate that so that we build the talent pipeline for the future. I suppose one of the things that you know, was important to us, that we really understand what and understood at the time when we started STEM Southwest, is what is our reason for doing this, and why are we, as a group of very different people who came together, what are we looking to achieve? So I'll just step you through maybe just our journey, you know, where we started, you know, the what we've done so far, and what is our vision and what are our goals for STEM Southwest and the next steps. And it is a big why, like, why is this important? I come from J&J. I'm a senior engineering manager in J&J, so I'm come from industry. And one of the things that I find in industry is that, you know, we all have our challenges at the moment from a talent pipeline perspective, but what can we do about it? And then as a person in the industry, how do I connect back to educators to be able to share how careers are changing and how the pathways are changing? So STEM Southwest really looked at it from a point of view of the, you know, how do we create a talent pipeline, a robust talent pipeline for the future. We recognize that, you know, we have challenges, and we're hearing about it from all the speakers so far. There's challenges in how we get more talent into the STEM pipeline in this region. The region we focus on in Southwest is obviously Cork and Kerry region. But at the starting point, we did learn a lot from Limerick for Engineering. That was a group that was set up there specifically focusing on engineering. But we saw that there was a broader challenge for us, and it was in, you know, in science, technology, engineering, and maths in all of the disciplines. So there is a need for us to come together as a STEM industry network. And we felt that there was a gap there at the time where there wasn't collective collaboration in a way that industry were reaching out to and engaging with. And it needed as well to have more of a strategic approach as well from a STEM development pipeline, where we could look at it from a foreign direct investment perspective and an indigenous economic growth region for the region, and look at how we can strategically propose in place. So our journey did start with, you know, 3 key groups, and it was a coming together of really passionate people who wanted to connect their own insights, their insights of what the barriers are, look at where the opportunities are, and see how we collectively work together. And that was made up of higher education, it was made up of industry, and it was very well supported, thankfully, from the Cork County Council. And you can see the people who were involved as co-founders 3 years ago, who basically came together and organized themselves around a number of events. And the events were to find out what people were thinking in this area and to get interest in this initiative of having a collaboration and a network together, where industry speak with educators, supported by the Cork County Council, and how we can brainstorm at events. And we had a number of events which started getting people thinking of how we could work together in, you know, looking at different things from, you know, in specific areas, say engineering, and your talent pipeline was one industry, was one event that we set. We organized in MTU, stemming our talent issues. That was another event we organized in the Cork City Council. And at those events, we brought industry and educators together, teachers and career guidance, where they were sharing their views on where they saw the challenges and collectively how we could, you know, bring more visibility to some of the solutions that were out there. So I suppose looking broadly, what is our vision for STEM Southwest? So STEM Southwest wants a joint up approach to look at how industry and academia can attract more students to take up the roles and inspire their careers in STEM, as well as having returners come back into STEM and STEM roles, as well as having attracting, you know, other, I suppose, reskilling of people back into STEM roles. And all of that is so important for us to continue to build that talent pipeline. And with that, how do we actually look at that vision and deliver it? And this is where we had to, you know, look at from both tactical level and strategic level of the goals that we needed to deliver to be able to build more of a collective, robust STEM pipeline, to look at how we drive a stronger network within the Southwest area. And as well as that, you know, increase looking at the, you know, from an economic development perspective, looking at the STEM sectors in the Southwest and how we can build them more, but also looking at how we can continue to bring in that foreign direct investment into the area. And support and influence the strategic element of our research and innovation activity in the industries that we need. And working together with our educators to be able to develop more visibility to roles, more knowledge around the different careers that are there from a STEM perspective, and collaborate more across different initiatives in the region to maximize our overall benefit and impact. And it really was about looking at, you know, how do we bring this to life? So what we did do as an early group was start reaching out to industry, getting industry interest, and signing them up as part of our current board, as well as our working groups. So we've put together a number of working groups. So at the moment, we have 8 working groups in place. And these focus on key buckets of, I suppose, what we would call, you know, areas of focus for us to deliver on the goals and vision that STEM Southwest have. And the working groups are set up and working on different initiatives now. And I will talk to some of the successes in a little while. But I suppose one of the things we want to do is to build the membership of STEM Southwest so that we can enable the right insights to feed into the working groups so that we can deliver real value in the area and be able to tackle some of the challenges that we currently have. So the working groups that we have will focus on, you know, from an education perspective, post-primary education work party focus on what we can do from an education perspective. We have a community STEM working group, which will focus on just how do we, I suppose, bring the STEM successes to the community. And we've really good pockets of success in this area, and what we want to do is amplify that. We'll also be looking at how we have senior STEM executive focus on our strategic goals. So looking specifically at, you know, from a longer term perspective, how we continue to break down the barriers and be able to build our careers within STEM. We also will look at, and specifically as we talk to this topic from our STEM higher education perspective, is how we focus as well on the different careers and disciplines within STEM and how that links back into the industry and how we can make better connection and insights and link the needs of the industry to the education as focused areas, as well as creating opportunities for our students to see inside industry and see what are the real jobs behind the walls of our industry. I come from diffuse synthase down in Ringaskiddy, and we had TY students who think that we were making baby powder down there, which obviously isn't the case, but they did, how would they know? They don't see behind the doors of the industry. And we want to make sure that we can get more information to students, career guidance and teachers, and be able to share what exactly those roles are. So in doing that, we have had a number of really successful showcase events from a STEM perspective, and we will continue to reach members, and our members being our industry partners, also educators, their teachers, career guidance, and even students, to be able to share the initiatives that are around from a STEM perspective. They open the doors to getting inside industry from an educator's perspective and seeing how we do things. And I suppose one of the really good successes we had initially when we were able to have in-person events was we had our first showcase in Rochestown Park Hotel, which was where we invited industry to come and showcase the careers and have stands there. It was an in-person event. We had over 1,000 students with their parents and teachers attend the event. We had speakers corners, we had a lot of activity, but really, it really showed, you know, and gave opportunities for students to come and talk to employees of industry, but people who were in the careers. So they got, you know, to hear from role models in different jobs and different occupations within different areas and different industry partners. One of the insights for me on the night was that it really helped parents as well to kind of get an opportunity to speak to and learn about the new roles that are in industry now, because they're continuing changing and evolving. And from a cyber security perspective, it would be that's where we could tie in the education around what careers are there, how parents then can educate their sons and daughters and be able to advise them on their pathway and their career, their choices. Another event then as equally successful and online was our STEM Southwest 21 event, which had 4,000 online participants. It was really successful, again, showcasing the industry partners, over 80 booths were virtually in place where we could share the information on the careers that are in the different industries. We had Adam King, who was a huge success in the night, but it gave students the opportunity to ask questions, to see the different industries, but also hear career talks from different people on different careers within the STEM career paths. And I think that with these events, it did show me that there is a huge gap there. There was huge interest in this area, and it is something that I suppose we continue to need to build. So we are planning our next event and our next showcase event from STEM Southwest, and the date of that will be coming to you shortly. But what I would say is that STEM Southwest, the objective really is to be able to have that collaborative approach to looking with and working with other partners in industry and educators, and highlighting and reaching the students in a way that they get the message on what the STEM roles are, what these careers look like, and how they can navigate the different pathways that are there from a career perspective, be it apprenticeships, be it picking their CEO choices and looking at where they go from there. So one of the things in our education work group, Paul O'Brien is looking at, he's one of our board members and working group members, he's looking at how he reaches and does career talks within schools currently, and he reaches out and has opportunity of bringing industry career talks to the schools, giving the opportunity for the students to ask questions on the career talks, and it's like a mini career fair, and he continues to do that as part of the working with teachers in that working group. He's continued to shape the program, reaching different schools within the Southwest region, and that will evolve into podcasts within showing different careers and being able to have different avenues and different ways to be able to provide the teachers and career guidance with those resources that they need to be able to show the careers that are there from a STEM perspective. So with that, I suppose the things that we are, how to get involved, or where to next for STEM Southwest. We are currently updating our membership platform, so that will be going live around the November timeframe. And this is open for members for STEM Southwest, from teachers, industry partners, students, parents, and that will give you visibility then to collectively what is going on within the STEM industry. It will also give you access to the work that's been done through the working parties. We have you can see more information on STEM Southwest on the website stemsouthwest.ie, and if you want other further information, I'll put my contact details in chat. I'll be happy to share them. And also we have Byrne, who is our project leader, and she'd be happy to share any further upcoming events that you can promote, or that if you want to become a member of a working party, or as an industry, if you want to become an industry partner. All of those are welcome opportunities for you to be able to be part and an active member of STEM Southwest. So with that, I'll hand back to you, Jan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marguerite. Wow, you've done so much research, and it's so important to identify the barriers, because often we think we know what the barriers are, but then when you do the research, you find actually it might be something completely different. So it's brilliant that that research has been done, it's all been underpinned, and you've all those working groups and the events. Be fantastic if we could learn lessons and roll it out across the country. But one of the common theme, and it's the theme of today, is what can industry do to promote STEM careers and cyber careers? And the answer is there is plenty industry can do. Each of our panelists here today have given their details and asked for industry to get involved, and given actual practical things that your organization can do. So please do get in touch. So we're just going to wrap it up. If anybody has any questions, please pop them into the chat. There are a couple of questions here I'll just address now. This recording will be available on the Cyber Ireland website. And hopefully, Aoife, we can include all the contact details as well. And the other thing is the Cyber Ireland conference, students can attend that. So just select a member when you're registering for the Cyber Ireland conference. So students can attend as a member for free. Has anybody else any questions or anything they'd like to, any of our panelists want to jump in while we're just finishing up? Well, okay, well, thanks everyone for attending. Thanks to Aoife, to Mark, to Michelle, Jessica and Marguerite. It is really positive that there are so many initiatives going on, and it'd be great if we could all work together. Aoife, you were talking about your website. Is there a possibility that you could share these types of initiatives on your website as well?
Absolutely. So yeah, I do want to have a resources section. I think one important thing that a lot of the panelists mentioned is that we do need to work together. So me linking through to FIT's website or STEM Southwest kind of activities that are focusing on students. I think having links through and also sharing resources on my own website will give students on my site an avenue to the other programs, and hopefully that can happen and be a two-way street as well, because I think it's very important that the different initiatives, they've different strengths and reach different audiences, and the more we can work together, I think that'll be of more benefit to students as well.
Great. Well, thank you everyone, and thanks to Cyber Ireland and Cyber Skills for hosting today's event. Thank you all. Goodbye.
Thanks so much. Thanks everybody.
Bye.